Greetings, Banff Warriors. Greetings. Greg is back. So are you. Welcome to the Results Kill Excuses channel, where I love inspiring many beautiful souls to truly step into their true and authentic self, become the best version of themselves. I hope that you are willing and open to really figuring out who you are, what's underneath the surface. Many of the lessons that I share come filtered directly through my going on 14 years of having a spiritual awakening, a healing journey, having hit rock bottom. Started figuring out that there was a lot more about me that I could change. That was going to be difficult, that was going to be challenging, but there were things that I absolutely could change about myself, and I believe the same is true with you. There are many things that you absolutely can change about yourself if you have the courage, the strength, the desire to believe in yourself, to believe in your vision, to believe in your dreams, to believe in the possibility and the untapped potential that is hidden just beneath the surface. We don't have to be slaves to our circumstances, to the things that have happened over the course of our lives. We absolutely can empower ourselves in the here, in the now, to become what? More abundant, more healthy, more harmonious in our relationships. And one thing that I just had happen to me was an opportunity for me to sit and be patient. Makes me think about the message today. I feel that in just a few moments prior to recording this video, I had something happen that felt untimely, felt like an inconvenience, and yet I can see clearly the wounded version of me was a man that was very short-fused, quick to anger, quick to frustration, being irritable, a spirit of irritation on me. And it was like I just had something now that was challenging me. It was in a situation of discomfort. And yet, I'm proud of myself. And if you're experiencing moments that you're being tested and given an opportunity to be more, to be better, and yet that's exactly what I just had happen. Is I sat with it. I kept moving through the process, stayed cool, calm, and collective, centered and grounded, very much rooted in the present, in the now. Not stressed about, am I going to be late for this, or is this going to delay me? And it's interesting when we really get ourselves psyched out, we think that, 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes can feel like 30 minutes delay. And I see that happening more and more in this world, to where everyone is just moving so fast, thinking so fast, talking so fast, breathing so fast. We're worrying. And what I think so many of us need to do is just slow down. Slow down our breathing. Soften our mind, soften our thinking. And the way that this is fully experienced is by being present, being conscientious of the moment of now. And in any given moment, if you can just connect with your breath, soften your thoughts, and maybe you need to filter a few things of gratitude, a few thoughts of gratitude to really shift your energy. Be grateful that you're safe. Be grateful that you're on a path of healing and growth and expansion. Be grateful that you have transportation and a warm bed and running water, technology to be able to connect with people and messages all around the world. He figured just 20 years ago, 30 years ago, we were so reliant on broadcast television, the tube, and cable TV to get our information. And now it's every single one of us listening to this message. You are your own broadcast station. You can choose to deliver a message, your thoughts, your ideas to the entire world. Does that mean that the whole world will see it in the first post? No, the 10th post? Who knows? But I do know that if you were to get to your truth, to sit in that truth, to be present with yourself, to hold space for yourself, and really start to improve the relationship with yourself, guess what? The relationships around you are going to change. But people are also going to take notice. Some people will be caught off by your growth. They'll tell you, hey, you've changed, like that's a bad thing, when it's really you've grown. And some people won't like your growth. But in the healing process, that is where we learn how to validate ourselves, how to create healthy boundaries, how to stand firmly in our truth and value ourselves enough to have self-respect, that we no longer are quick to just abandon ourselves for someone else's acceptance or someone else's approval. And one of the challenging, sticky places, the grittiness of this life, is that when we look back, there's probably a lot of experiences and a lot of circumstances that we may be fully immersed in right now that are completely misaligned with who we are. So how do we deal with that? How do you deal with awakening to the fact that maybe you're in the wrong relationship, maybe you're in the wrong profession, maybe you're in the wrong town and location? How do you deal with those big things? Well, some of you, you're never going to deal with it. You're going to just keep pushing it off and allowing for your fear and your doubt and the guilt and the shame and all these negative feelings to continue to overwhelm you, to be able to control you. However, there are some of you, maybe you're one of them, maybe you are one of those people that is starting to awaken the boldness and the courageousness, the confidence and the truth of who you are, and knowing that you're not a tree. You can move. And will it be easy? Maybe. Maybe not. But I can tell you that what won't be easy is staying in misalignment for the rest of your life, because at some point you will sit there in regret, wishing that you had done something different, wishing you had found the courage to switch up. And I'm in no way, shape, or form am I ever communicating for people to just be irresponsible. Right? If you're in a career, but you're unhappy, you're unfulfilled, it's a miserable experience, it's no longer giving you the satisfaction and the fulfillment that you desire, maybe you say, you know what, I only got 5 more years, 10 more years, and then I can try something else. And it's like, wait, what? Time out. Why do you have to wait for one thing to end for something else to begin? Why can't you start to shift some of your focus, some of your attention? And I like to frame this as, right, there's your, how do you turn a side hustle into your main hustle? Well, again, can you start working harder from 5 to 9, versus the 9 to 5. I'm going to say that again for those of you in the back. Are you willing to work harder from 5 to 9 than you are from 9 to 5? And the 5 to 9 can be both in the morning before and in the evening after. The book ends. That you can start investing, you can start learning new skills, you can go back to school, you can learn new skills. I mean, you don't even have to go to formal schooling. We can learn new skills, and you can learn anything. And as you do, maybe that adds more value. And maybe you can then come up with a strategic plan to start implementing some of these things simultaneously. I think Jim Rohn says you should always work harder on yourself than you do your job, because working on your job, you'll make a living. Working on yourself, you'll make a fortune. You are the value. And I've been talking a lot about how we can really find ourselves enmeshed in our relationships, enmeshed in our careers, enmeshed in just our wounds from the past. And when by enmeshment, that means we're interwoven, that it really is the fabric of who we are. We're carrying around this identity of the wounded, broken self. And how do you completely shift that? Well, it takes little bit by little bit over the extended period of time. I like to call that 1% better every day. No days off, just a little bit, a little improvement, a little morning routine, a little evening routine, some positive affirmations, some journaling, some breath work, some reflection about your life experiences, really sitting in these really high energy feelings that you got underneath the surface, sitting there versus looking for a quick fix, looking for an escape. And starting to shift your identity from that of somebody that's wounded and defined and pegged by their past experiences to starting to have a vision for your future, a vision of your potential. Knowing that there are many gifts, even just along the way, that will reveal themselves once you get started. But it takes you taking that first step and repeating that process over and consistently. For me, I had to hit rock bottom. I had to hit the fucking rock bottom in order for me to truly lock in. To say I'm not just doing this to lose the 10 pounds for a season, to, control myself for this weekend or this month or this year. I knew that in that moment, I'm like, I have to be something so different than what I've become. Would you give yourself that same permission to be something different than what you've become? Without fear. And where we have a lot of fear is, in this day and age, where people are struggling, people are really trying to figure out how they're going to get from one month to the next. Most people aren't in a place of abundance and financial stability and financial freedom, and definitely that only adds more stressors, so that even our relationships lack the harmonious, energetic frequency that we all desire, to just be peaceful, peace within, peace without. And yet, if you were to start planning a move, right? What does it start with? Searching. If you were to think about moving locations and you're in a certain job and maybe you actually like what you do, but you could just maybe, you would appreciate a fresh start, a new environment, a new opportunity. what do? You start doing some searches, some job searches, looking for openings and availability. You start looking at housing, whether you want to purchase a house or rent. You start looking at housing. You start looking at what you got right now. And maybe you need a light in your load. Maybe a move would be an opportunity to do a great purge and to release a lot of things that you've just been holding on to. And those things kind of weigh you down, but you don't even realize that these things are weighing you down. I went through this purge myself earlier this year in preparation of some sort of a move. I cleared out an entire storage unit. And I've continued to sift through and release more and more things little by little. And it's light in my load. I can tell that my energy is more fluid and it feels lighter and mobile. And yet I don't know exactly where I will eventually be, but I know that when that opportunity presents itself, I'm ready. I'm ready because I don't have all of these things, layers and layers and layers of things holding me back, allowing those things to control me. We've all heard, do you own your possessions or do your possessions own you? Many of us are slave to the stuff we have. And some of the worst stuff we have is the thoughts and the experiences that we're holding on to still mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And ultimately, those things show up in our bodies. Purging is an incredible experience. Letting go. Looking at these new opportunities. Searching for new opportunities. Because again, I'm somebody that as I fully walk by faith, not by sight. By sight, if I only walked by what I saw in the 3D reality, I'd be overwhelmed. But instead, I walk by faith. And the beautiful thing is when you choose to start walking more and more by faith, you start trusting in a higher power. You start trusting in something that is actually aligned with your higher self, with the fulfillment of the best possible version that you can become, that you can experience. And it's probably the fulfillment of your entire assignment on this planet. Do you believe that you have an assignment on this planet? Do you believe that you chose a specific path and specific circumstances that were going to set you up to fulfill your assignment as a soul on this planet? And the assignment isn't just making money. The assignment isn't just falling in love. The assignment isn't just having lots of things. The assignment is absolutely energetic. Fulfillment of your frequency as a soul, contributing to the healing and the expansion and the evolution of humanity on this planet. And if what I just said resonates with you, I can guarantee you that my soul and your soul have had an agreement to do the work together. So I invite you to go deeper and deeper, to lock in with this message and this path. And if you need the support, you need help, you're looking for a system to help guide you, you should definitely check out the Results Kill Excuses 1% Better Everyday Journal. A vision that came to me over a year ago to put out 4 volumes, a complete year of guided support to help you really reinforce your emotional healing, reprogramming negative thinking, starting to create goals, monthly, weekly, daily goals, things that truly matter to you so that you can absolutely start seeing some success, some progress, some traction in your life. And I can guarantee you that the journal, the 1% Better Everyday Journal, it's not just a notebook. It's not just, here you go, here's a notebook, answer a bunch of questions. No, it is absolutely one of the most incredible resources on this planet, because embedded in a printed product is a complete master class taught by me in the first 2 volumes, over 100 videos. By the time it's all said and done, there's going to be over 200 videos, hundreds of hours of content, of lessons of me guiding you through self-sabotage to self-mastery, and all of the lessons, and intertwining this with perfection, day after day, one step after the other, one breath at a time, one day at a time, 1% at a time. Or guess what? You can keep doing the same old thing. You can wait for something to change. And usually that's what you need. If you're somebody that's apprehensive, if you're somebody that's skeptical, if you're somebody that's just so low on yourself that you can't take action, that you're skeptical about every single thing, right? Then maybe what you need is that crisis, like me. Like attracts like. I needed the crisis. I needed literally my whole life to come crashing down for me to truly wake up and say, enough's enough. Time to change. Time to roll up my sleeves. It's time for me to start making some massive changes, not just for the week, not just for a month, not for a season, but for the rest of my life, saying, how many more chances do I need? Message received, I'm broken, and I'm going to go on a warpath because I can't keep living this way. And I have been relentless, I have been consistent, I have been committed to this process of learning how to trust myself. And I get stronger and stronger every single day. And that's what will separate you. That's what separates you from so many other people that may be also doubtful, skeptical, low self-worth, low self-esteem, low self-confidence. Is we think that these things are impossible. We think that there's no solution. But if you're not willing to try new things and to also have the courage and the tenacity to even fail, and that may result in activating some embarrassment, but I think some people get so in their heads, you're not even willing to move through the embarrassment, the feeling of being embarrassed because you're trying new things and you're not a master yet. It's okay. Can you give yourself permission to try the new things, to be a beginner? A lifelong learner is what I call that. And I'm someone that's worked in higher education, public education, nonprofit sector. And so I understand what it is to train and to teach, to learn, to grow. And I've always subscribed to that lifelong learner. I take that back. There was a time where I was a stubborn SOB and I was the old dog that didn't want to learn the new tricks. And that was prior to my crisis, to my rock bottom moment. But through that rock bottom moment, I was shown that I was running out of chances. I was running out of opportunities. And I couldn't just keep living life like a broken record, because I had made a covenant and a promise and a vow to myself that in this life I was going to make a difference. In this life I was going to truly overcome the self-sabotaging patterns and beliefs and behaviors. And so I needed to have that rock bottom. I needed to have that pain point that truly transformed my mindset, my habits, turning weakness into strength, turning drunkenness into sobriety, turning excuses into results. Are you ready for your own winning streak? It starts each and every day. First thing in the morning, boom, checking the negativity, tapping into positivity, having gratitude for anything and everything. and really starting to create vision for your life, holding yourself accountable. I've had to hold myself accountable. I'm grateful for those people that have been there supporting me along the way, far and few in between, but ultimately I've had to be there for me 100% of the time. And some days it was tougher than others. Some days I wanted to give up, but I got through. I eked through some pretty dark nights of the soul, some pretty dark days. And if you're anything like me, I'm stronger for it. I'm better because of it. And I have to continue to remind myself each and every day, man, you're strong, you're powerful. Holy shit, look what you've been through. And you didn't just survive it, you're thriving through it. You're now sitting in the fires and smiling, joyful, loving, caring, kind, generous, abundant, free. Are you ready to tap into your fullest potential? Join me along this journey. I thank everybody that's new here. If you haven't yet, introduce yourself. I love connecting. I love connecting with people. I love it when you share that the message is hit home, it's resonating with you, it's timely. That lets me know that I'm in alignment, and it should let you know too that you're meant to be here. But again, it's not just about receiving, it's not just about listening, it's about how do we work together. And I'm telling you, I have an incredible resource, the 1% Better Everyday Journal. Check it out. There's even a free masterclass lesson about sitting and processing our emotions. I'll put that link right here. The link to purchase the 1% Better Everyday Journal is down below or in the products. And right now, through November 1st, 2025, if you type in RKE, the number 30, in the shopping cart, you'll save 30% on one of the most incredible resources for helping you to help yourself on planet Earth. I love you. You know the drill. Results kill excuses, because if it was easy, it won't be worth it. Greg's out.